What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We have a special treat for you today, tutorial type round. The number one thing to be a professional disc golfer, and a good one, the one skill you have to have, that everybody has to have, isn't physical. It's a little bit mental, but it even goes beyond that. It's almost like a puzzle that you have to figure out, and that is how to score. I know some of the top athletes in the world in our game that have more talent in their left pinky finger than I do in my whole entire body, and I beat them every time. And really, the only reason that I do that is because I know how to score. And that's one thing I'm gonna try to illustrate in this video, and Brian is here to help me do that. Brian's one of the best teachers I've ever met in my life. If you haven't seen any of his stuff, go to Gatekeeper. We just put out a tutorial recently on Gatekeeper that has tons of views and people are loving that. Go to the Gatekeeper and we have something so you can kind of see his teaching style. But back to the main point. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna play left-handed on a semi-short course. I don't really practice this. The only time I practice this is so that I can teach it backhand form to people and so I can understand how difficult it is. Today I'm going to be trying to explain how to score, and you'll understand more about that once we get started.
Yeah,
Let's go.
so we got some hard packed dirt by the basket on hole one. I think the scoring thought is to have your disc land softly and to not take for granted how short the hole is. So I'm going flippy banger. I'm gonna just float it a little bit, put a little nose up on it, and let it land softly.
Go in. Go in.
Oh, I hit the one.
You got wrecked.
Ah.
Good shot. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to turn into an amateur here for you guys, and I'm gonna go through the amateur's perspective of this hole, and then I'm gonna take my scoring mentality and explain to you the reasons I'm gonna do what I do. First thing is you have everything to the left side. There's nothing to miss right off the bat. That's great for an amateur. Now, in order for me to score the best at this hole, I don't have that much touch in my left hand, right? So I'm gonna take my most overstable disc and I'm gonna throw with power to the left side, knowing that the worst shot that I could possibly do is hit the tree that he did or come up short. I know that if I do that, I don't even have to throw a good shot and I'm probably gonna end up by the basket. So, don't get too cute. It's a scoring game. Period. Okay.
Ooh, he's got a shot.
Yeah, long putt. In.
Oh no, trash.
Next thing is my lefty putt sucks. Great. It's an amateur lefty. Ta-da. What I'm going to do is I know that the one thing I'm going to focus on is the right height. If I can get the right height, that's great. The next thing is I want to release it on hyzer, so I'm going to aim a little bit right, or left, pardon me, and then I'm going to let it dive in. Height, left, don't leave it short. One of the biggest mistakes is not getting the power so you don't even have a chance. This is a scoring mentality. I've gotten into a scoring position, and now I have to figure out how to get into another scoring position. This disc has to have the right height, number one. Ooh! Right height.
Again, hole number two, similar distance to hole one. Ground is very hard packed by the basket, so I'm not gonna risk throwing a sidearm, skip, roll. I'm just gonna throw something soft and let it land softly. So again, I'm throwing kind of an understable banger here.
Little floater. You guys didn't see that, but that almost went in. All right, so that's like a professional perspective. And remember, I'm the amateur today. What I'm going to try to do for the best score is, I'm not good at angles, right? Most amateurs aren't. So what I'm going to do is make sure I throw a disc that'll end left. Because the only thing I can do wrong is go straight, hit the trees, fall down, now I have a long putt. If I follow through on an angle, it's going to go left. And if I go left, it's probably going to end up by the basket because it's such a short hole. Follow through.
What a softie.
That was soft, short, but that's okay. Okay, my last putt I missed left, right height, good speed. Those are the only things I need to think about. So actually think about it. Putt it hard. Sometimes your lefty doesn't even work. Come back here.
Hole number 3. I see a big window up in the top right of this gap here. So I want to send my disc to that beefy spot and have something fade in softly. Zone is perfect for that. I'm going to throw a little nose up Anheuser Flex forehand. And with the nose up on the zone, you're able to get it to kind of stall and not crash into the hard packed ground as hard. So we'll try to do that.
Oh, love it. Beauty.
For 90.
All right. In order to score on this hole, I gotta hit the gap. There's 2 trees I have to miss, mainly the one on the right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my flippy heat, and I'm throwing this because it's a little bit uphill, and I wanna make sure to get past the basket. So the 2 things, miss the first tree, get past the basket. That's all I'm gonna focus on.
Oh, we got through.
Deal. We missed the tree, we got it past the basket. Scoring as an amateur doesn't mean you have to birdie every single hole. It's not bogey. Do not bogey. If you don't bogey, then there might be a time where you do start getting on a little streak and then you cash in a couple birdies. All of a sudden you're 5, 6 under, and I know in the recreational division or intermediate, if you ever shoot under par on any course, probably in the mix. That's pretty good.
Oh!
All right, right at 30 feet again, same thing. Right height, only thing I need to be thinking about. A lot of amateurs then get so focused on not 3-putting, because that's the big bugaboo with amateurs, right? It's 3-putting. They don't think this. They don't want to be aggressive towards the basket. Learn from your last mistakes. I'm going to try my hardest not to miss right, but in order to get the right height, I need to kind of throw it to the left and bring it back. So I'm going to just stick with that game plan. Oh, that was a beautiful putt, but par's good.
All right, I'm at 2 under par. We're on hole number 4. Another straight shot through the woods. Bends ever so slightly to the left. You would think if it bends left, that sidearm is the play, but since it's so subtle, a slight turnover backhand with a soft flatten at the end is a better play.
Oh yeah. Shot. Okay, we got trouble on the right, we got trouble on the left. What I'm going to do to best score on this hole is take something semi-stable. This is a meteor, but it's a pretty stable meteor, and I'm gonna put it on that Anheuser again because I can see I have a little room to throw straight with a bend, right? No matter what you do, if you start something on Anheuser, it's gonna go straight for a little bit, and then it'll take the bend to the left. Scoring on this hole, if I can do that, I'll miss the trees forward and then I'll bend to the left, giving myself a chance to score. It's all about angle, follow through again. Perfect. Tap-ins are all about not overthinking it. One of the biggest mistakes I see in amateurs is overthinking the birdie putt, stepping up, thinking about it too much, then it goes wrong. Step up, make your putt. It's simple, it's right there. Follow through to the basket. Doesn't get easier than that.
Okay, hole number 5, a little bit longer, 288, dead straight. I would normally throw a Comet in this situation, but I'm feeling a little bit of tailwind through the woods. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with this slightly understable banger that I've been throwing. And I'm also okay being a little bit short of the basket because of the fact that when you go deep, you get into kind of the bushy area, and then it gives you kind of those 50-50 putts. So we'll see here. And also with the tailwind, your disc is gonna fly a little bit longer, but a little bit more stable. So I'm gonna throw this a little flatter than I normally would.
That's a dart. Nice. Perfect. As an amateur, what I'm gonna be thinking here is same concept as the last hole. I'm gonna use the stability of my disc, follow through on an anhyzer, kind of straight, miss the right side tree, follow through, hopefully I get to pin high. It's all about making it as simple as possible. Again, this is perspective of optimal professional scoring versus scoring as an amateur. So remember that as we explain through the shots. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible, and he's gonna go to intricate details on how he's scoring. Super important to realize how different minds work, first of all, and how this isn't a game of perfect, it's a game of scoring. This guy played 9 shots. Played 2 and played 9 shots. So if you're an amateur, don't do that. Play 1 shot, and roll through. Played out 3 shots. Forward every one of them, which means you played 12 shots. Don't do that. Okay. Remember, it's about scoring. I'm an amateur. I'm kind of terrible, so I'm going to lay this up. There's no reason to run this. I want to get the best score possible. So I want to get this as close as possible, period. Deal. Bird, will you grab mine? Oh no, 12.
I'm at 4 under par. We're on hole number 6. It's a shorter hole. Every gap is done. So in these situations, you kind of have to go back to beginner mode and trust what your bread and butter shot is to just hit the gap. Because a lot of times in some of the professional tournaments, the holes are so treacherous that if you just hit the initial gap, you're scoring ahead of a lot of people. So sometimes if you're not fully confident in controlling the entire flight, just do something that gets you up the fairway. So on this little one, I'm just gonna flick a zone and skip it up there and see what happens.
Nice. Go in. Oh, beautiful.
Got it.
Main thing is, as an amateur, your skills are not like precise. I've been throwing turnovers for the last 5 or 6 holes. That's what I'm gonna do on this one. I'm gonna throw a turnover because it's warmed up. I already know my release point. With that, I just have to put it on a little anhyzer and follow through. Here's what we got. Tree right in my way. If I go anhyzer, I could pull it into the tree. I don't want to do that. I'm an amateur. I want to throw it around. Make sure to leave it close. But on this one, it's so short that I can give it a little bit. With a little bit, if I give it a little more height, then I won't go past the basket. So I want height and try to get it chain high. Pretty close.
Relatable. Oh my gosh, relatable. In this situation, it would seem like a subtle turnover, flatten on the green would be the optimal play. But sometimes I like to have reference points to throw the forehand in front of. That makes it easier to stick it on the green, even though it's a little bit sloped. This tree line right in front of us here is at a perfect distance for the disc to start breaking, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to throw a flat zone forehand and let it start breaking right at that tree. So.
Money.
Reference points, folks.
All right, last hole. I even said it before I went. I wanted to give it height. I gave the putt no height. It leaked to 20 feet, and that's why I didn't score. Bogey. The worst thing you can do as an amateur is bogey. But it's because I didn't do one simple thing. I can remember that. Same thing here, right to left drifter. Try to get it close. All right, baby. 30 footer. I'm like the 30 footer guy. Yeah, so let's learn from the last putt. Give it a little more height. Hyzer it in. Sad panda. Perfect.
All right, this hole number 8, short hole, even tighter gaps than the one a couple holes ago. There is a gap on the right side. At this point, I just want to hit the gap and give myself a chance. I'm going to throw a little skip forehand on the right side. Be better to see it on.
Oh, thank you. He's going skippies. Oh yeah.
Woo.
Deep, but
Ground
sick.
play wasn't that good, but it was fun.
Why switch it up? Keep throwing straight. Baby Anheuser right down the middle. Why is that happening, Brian? Why are amateurs amateurs?
Because they exist.
Okay. Baby Anheuser right down the middle. Make sure I follow through. I have to beat one little twiggly tree. You just follow through, everything's good. Such a good putt. Dang, that wasn't bad ground play at all. Many. 12 under.
Okay, last hole. There's a tree on the right side that makes it a little tighter window to hit with a backhand. Not that tight, but if I had to choose, I would still go with that little nose up, flex, zone forehand. There's a lot of space up there to the right. So it's an ace run. We're going uphill. Let's give it a try.
Oh, tree. Wow, what a shot. Last hole, I'm gonna throw a flippy hawk right at it. The last few before this, I've been throwing like a baby Anheuser with some touch. This one requires a little bit more distance. Bird. All right, that's it for 9 holes. I ended up shooting 1 under par. I'm pretty sure that's not bad.
No.
Under par is good. Hopefully you learned something by the way that we broke down the holes. If you're a professional, you can learn a lot from what Brian said or above the amateur level that I tried to teach at just now. Remember to like, subscribe, watch our next video, whatever it is. WanderDiscGolf.com.
WanderDiscGolf.com has all the Bearheart apparel as of now. We got hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Yeah, show them what you're rocking, Yuli.
Dude,
Little Earhart logo.
yeah, one of my favorite logos in the game. Super cool. Reminds me a lot of like really subtle naturey vibe, and that's what we do out here. Disc golf in the woods, baby.